welcome. So I remember going to these meetings where I thought that if only this person or these people were acting in a different way, I could feel safe, I could feel relaxed, and then I could have access to who I really am. I could feel free to be me. And then also, I was afraid of the intensity of the emotions that I was feeling in different situations. And I thought, okay, if only I wasn't this sensitive, if only I wasn't oversensitive, I was telling myself. And this was before I learned to understand my sensitivity and appreciate it as a very beautiful fine-tuned mechanism for understanding myself and navigating the world I'm functioning in. So, what if I told you that the safety can be found within? That you can carry your safety around with you? That you could step into new situations from a place of inner safety instead of expecting external conditions to be such that you could feel safe. Like that you don't need to look outside for safety. You don't have to expect people to act certain way, situations to be certain way. You can tap into your safety, your safe space within. And from there, be present in a situation and act accordingly. So sometimes it's just easy, sometimes you would say no, sometimes you would step out of the situation. But really making these decisions based on your connection with yourself rather than your reactivity of wanting to fight or flight. How would that be to carry a safety around with you? Today I'm going to share with you a practice just about that. That's about creating your own personal safe space. It is going to be a sort of a meditation, so it would be great if you could find a space where no one would disturb you, and then I will guide you every step of the way. So for this practice today, I brought some toys. Well, first of all, if we were live, I would give you one of these guys. These are just little rubber balls. But you can also take any object that's kind of round and firm. For instance, being in a forest, I found these guys, cones, pine cones. The point is that they're not too big, right? Like this size is just perfect. I remember at one point someone taking a lemon. If it's firm, it's okay.
Tune in to how it feels.
So make sure that you have something like this with you. Make sure that you have your own space for the next, say, half an hour, and then we can start. So we start with standing upright, trying to see how much do I have to move away so that you could see me. So we start with standing upright, and I would like to ask you to take this object, be it a ball, it can be a tennis ball as well, by the way, or a cone, or this little rubber ball, and put it under one of your feet, and then massage your feet with this object, like press, roll. Just really feel into your feet like that. What does your feet need at this point of time? And when you're ready, and you have a sense like, okay, this is good, this is enough, then, before moving to the other foot, stand on your both feet and just notice, what is the difference? How do you feel both of your feet? What's your awareness of your feet at this point, of one foot and the other? And how is your connection with the ground, with the earth, through one foot and through the other? And then, as you're ready, just start with the second one. And again, press, roll, and see if there are any differences between this foot and the other one. Take your time. And again, when you're complete, just stand on both of your feet and just feel, how are they right now? To what extent are you aware of them right now and your connection to earth? Just notice. And then, while still standing, notice your breathing. Just notice how the air is coming in and coming out of your lungs. And notice, how far does it reach? Whether it stops here at this level of your chest, whether it goes deeper, perhaps all the way to your belly. And don't change anything at this point, just observe this waving of breath. And notice if it is easy for you to breathe, or there is any effort or a constriction. And whatever comes up, whatever feelings come up when you do so, notice if you can welcome them with kindness. Include them. And now with each breath, imagine that you reach deeper. It can be a physical sensation, or it can be just an intention. Like that your intention right now is to breathe down to your belly. And you just take the breaths and imagine that the breath fills your belly. And now imagine that the energy of your breath goes deeper to your hips, all the way through your nose, through your throat, your lungs, your belly, to your hips. And now you can feel or imagine that the breath goes even deeper to your knees, to your ankles, to your feet. And now you can imagine that there are roots that start growing from your feet down deep, deep into the earth. Give them some time to reach the core of the earth. And imagine that as they grow, you breathe all the way down to your roots, into the earth. And as your breath touches the earth and reaches all the way to its core, just check if you can imagine or feel its pulse, the pulsating sensation, the heartbeat of the earth. And you can notice or imagine that the energy of the earth is flowing to you, into your body, into your heart, through the roots. See if you can open up for it and allow yourself to be nourished by the earth. If you can feel and receive being held right now as you stand. And again, take as much time as you need. And whenever you're ready, while still being aware of your breathing and aware of connection to the earth, imagine that your breath starts to reach up above, that you connect to the sky and you open up to the blessing that comes from there. So you can imagine that actually you're breathing in, you're taking a breath from this spiritual realm above, and allow this energy, the inspiration to fill you up. And you can imagine how the energy of the earth and the energy of the sky connect in your body, in your heart. The way I feel it right now, it's as if the earth energy is going up my spine from the back, holding my back, while the energy of the sky, of the above, is coming through my front, and both of them touch and merge at the core of my heart. And again, notice if you can allow yourself to be held like this, being this connecting element between the earth and the sky, the living being, the life expressing itself. So it's almost like not personal. You're like the vessel for life to flow, to move, to be lived. And now, while still holding this vertical axis, I would like to invite you to start exploring the space around you with your hands. Yeah, you can check above, in front, on the sides, and also at the back, just to notice how do you experience your personal space right now. Just check the edges of it and check how far is it from your physical body. You know, for some of us, it's at a stretch of the hand like that. And for some of us, somewhere closer. For some, it's further. For some, it's on the edge of the skin. Yeah, so our physical boundary is also experienced as our energetic boundary. And for some, this boundary is being felt somewhere within, as if we were contracted within our body. And this may also change. So just explore, how is it right now? How do you experience this personal space right now? touch it with the palms of your hands, and also all the way down to the earth, as if you were standing in the middle of a sort of a bubble, like a soap bubble. And you can imagine the boundaries of this bubble like this semi-transparent film where things can come from the outside and they can come from inside out. And as it happens, there is this moment of touching this film, like a connection point where there is a possibility of deciding whether to let something in or not. So what we are sensing right now, what you are sensing right now, you're sensing your energetic boundary. And while boundary is often seen as something that separates us from the outside world, I'd like to invite you to consider this idea that this boundary is actually the place where you connect with the external world. This is the space where you are being touched, where someone can feel you and where you can feel someone else. So just take a moment to explore it, to imagine it, and to make yourself at home in there. And while making yourself at home, notice what are the qualities that you would like to invite into this space. It may be harmony. It may be love. It may be trust. So again, you can see or imagine how these qualities come in, flow in, and enrich or combine with this earth energy and the energy from above, and how these energies dance together, supporting you in this personal space. So now I would like to invite you to one more step and one more little experiment around it. While you're connected to this space, while you are in this space, imagine a challenging situation somewhere in front of you. It may be a difficult conversation that you had or that you're about to have, anything that creates some sense of stress for you. And to start with, just notice how it is to stay in your safe space while you have this image of the situation somewhere in front of you. And notice what happens to this space. See if you can maintain your connection with the earth, with the above, and with your energetic boundaries in the presence of the image of this situation. If it's too much, you may move the situation a little away, or maybe pick a more gentle one for this point, for this practice. And then, whenever you're ready, I would like to invite you to step into this situation from within your safe space. So you don't leave your safe space behind, you take it with you. You just take 1, 2, 3 steps forward to step into the situation, and you take a moment to settle. How does this situation feel like from this place? And how do you feel? What happens in your body? And is it safe to experience whatever you feel? So the point is not to get rid of any anxiety that you may be feeling, but just notice if it's safe to experience whatever your experience is. And then, when you had enough, take a couple of steps back into a neutral position and just reconnect to your safe space. And then again, taking the safe space with you, take a couple of steps forward into the situation and just notice how it is to experience the situation from within your safe space. What happens to your body? What do you see? What do you witness? Take a moment to stand here, and then whenever you're ready, take a couple of steps backward into the neutral position and restore any connection with your safe space that you might have lost while stepping in the situation. And again, one last time, a couple of steps forward and just notice how it is to be in this situation from within your safe space. And then when you're ready, take a couple of steps back into the neutral position. So first of all, I'm curious how this was for you. Leave a comment, if you may. And one important thing for me is that the practice that I just shared is not a one-timer practice. It is not something that I invite you to do only before stepping into a challenging situation, although it may be helpful to do so as well. This is a practice that I invite you to continue doing for it to become part of your everyday routine, like toothbrushing. You just wake up in the morning, take a breath, connect to the earth, connect to the sky, tune in and feel into your personal space around you, and start the day and live the day from there. So to start with, you may find out that you have to make a conscious choice to land into your space or remember to stay in it. And then you may find at some point that you're actually feeling uneasy when it's not there. How would it be to live your days from such safe personal space? Enjoy your day.